Yeah.
And I have to be working on myself at the same time. And I can't, if I'm bored, what I'm going to be conveying is I'm going to be conveying boredom. No. I mean, everybody releases tension in different ways. And the first thing I do with everybody when they first walk in the room, what would you like to do today? I don't go through a routine. What would you like to do today? Well, I'm having problem walking, or I'd like to know more about standing, or it should be a student-led experience. Gain the information from them. That's what makes it different. I don't work the same with different people. Everybody has a slightly different problem, and everybody has a very different story.
So when your student starts going on and on about their problem and you see them pulling down and tensing more and more, at what point do you interrupt them, or do you just let them keep going?
No, I just say, do you realize that when you're talking like this, that there's a body reaction that you're depressing yourself. You're talking depressing information, and you're depressing yourself at the same time. And then but you do have to explain that the mind and the body are intrinsically connected. They are the same thing in essence. And if you have negative thoughts, that negative thoughts will actually go into your body. You do have to explain this. It's not, a lot of people just think of the technique of standing and sitting. I mean, there was, my wife is in a choir, and the conductor said, anybody who has done the Alexander technique, you'll know how to stand and sit. And when I tap my hand, I would like you to stand and sit the Alexander way. Now, for me, that's terrible, because there isn't an Alexander way. You have a look at the way children stand and sit. It's always very different. And this is what's killing the technique. People are teaching somebody how to stand and how to sit. And then all they're doing is getting into Alexander habits in a lot of cases. What you're actually teaching is a conscious choice of actually doing something in a conscious way. There's no right way and there's no wrong way.
Now, many of my peers, meaning new teachers of the technique, privately explain to me, I can't sell this stuff, I just can't market this stuff, nobody's buying the technique. Do you get those sort of complaints? And if so, how do you respond?
Absolutely, I do, a lot. I mean, in the UK survey, most of the teachers aren't making a living out of it. And that is crazy, because there are so many people in the UK with back problems and neck problems, and things are actually getting a lot worse with people sitting at their computers all day. We are needed out there. There's more than enough work. It's just that we're not marketing it in the right way. And I mean that. And I like to address the situation, and maybe you don't mind me saying, but I'm actually going to organize an international convention, because of all the problems that are actually going on in the Alexander world, about how to promote yourself and how to put the technique across. And that's going to be in 2013 in March. Details are on the website, Alexander.ie. If any other teachers listening to this would like to teach better, I'm getting a lot of teachers over to Ireland to help out with this. And I think you train with Lynn, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, well, she's coming there too. And Giora Pincus, Vivian Mackey, and hopefully for a whole week, anybody having problems promoting themselves or would like to know how to teach in a more lively way, a less boring way, if you like, I really recommend you come along for a week and share all your problems and hopefully come away with a lot more inspiration.
How effectively have you been able to transmit what you're just talking about to your students who then go out and become teachers?
Sorry, say that again. The line broke up a little bit, Luke.
Yes. How effectively have you been able to teach your students how to become working teachers and to get clients?
Well, I find with my teachers the problem is stopping them from teaching too early. Okay, they all want to go out in their third year and start teaching, and I actually, it's almost like pulling the reins back. They are so enthusiastic about teaching. So 2 things I do, which is maybe a little different from other people. If they have any problem publicizing themselves or whatever, I get them to promote an introductory day or a workshop, and then I come along and help them with that promotion. The other thing I do on the training course, for 2 weeks of their last 2 years, we go out to a residential course. There's about 15 people, brand new people, who come to the course to learn about the technique, and I take about 7 or 8 of the students along with me, so they get first hands-on experience while I'm in the room of how to convey the technique. So I don't have any problem with that at all. I find that when the students leave, they're more than ready, and they don't have any problem standing up and talking about the technique to people.
And they've been out to develop.
It does need work.
And your students who want to develop a private practice, you found that they have been able to develop a private practice?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's amazing, because so many teachers that I know, just feel totally stymied.
I know, but you see, people are just sitting by the phone waiting for STAT or AMSAT, a call from somebody who's been to the website. You do have to, it's like any business, you do have to put some work into it. You need to get a brochure, you need to get a business card, you need to go along to the local press and say, here I am, I've just moved into this area, I teach the technique, have some sort of, spiel. The newspapers, especially local ones, are dying for people to come along to them to fill. The advertising doesn't work. If you pay for advertising, I find it doesn't really work. But people do read articles. And if you just get a standard article, and I also encourage people, I have a few articles on my website, I encourage people to, if they're no good at writing articles, to download them and use them. I don't care whether they use them for their own, just change a little bit. And they're very introductory articles, all of them. And I think that's the other thing that people should be doing in the Alexander world, is actually sharing information with other teachers. We're not on our own in our own boat. We actually should be helping each other to promote the technique. And if everybody was working together for that aim, I don't think anybody would be short of work.
Oh, fantastic. Is there anything that I should ask you that I've neglected?
No, I'm quite passionate about it. I just, for me, with my back problem, I was in a lot of pain, and I just wish I'd known about the technique 10 years before, when my problem actually started. And that is my passion, that there's a lot of people out there suffering, and we just make the connection between the Alexander technique and the relief of pain or improvement of life. And that's why I just write the books, and that's why I run the training course, because I just want to reach people. If you go in with, I want to make a living out of this, it just doesn't work for you. But if you have a passion and you want to help people, you really want to help people improve their life, I don't see how that can not work. Okay, but we have to have the right attitude.
Have you found students who just weren't willing or weren't able to do the work necessary to develop in the Alexander way?
There's some people who, you mean pupils?
Yeah.
Coming to you, or teachers?
Yeah, pupils coming to you. Students.
Well, some people are lazy.
Yeah.
Some people, you say, well, have you done the lying down? And they go, oh, I didn't have time, or no, I haven't done it. And I find that you give people, at the end of the lesson, you give them their homework, and then you ask on the next lesson,